Good morning students. Today we are going to see about 7th standard SS3 History First Lesson Sources of Medieval India. Introduction. The periods from AD, that is Common Era CE 700 to 1200, and from AD CE Common Era 1200 to 1700 are classified as early medieval and later medieval periods respectively in Indian history. Numerous and varied sources are fortunately available to the historians engaging in the study of medieval India. Let us now explore the various sources available for the study of the history of medieval India. Sources. Sources are the supporting materials, documents or records in the form of evidence that help to reconstruct the past. Again I am repeating, sources are the supporting materials, documents or records in the form of evidence that help to reconstruct the past. Next, let me see about the classification of sources. Sources are classified into two types, primary sources and secondary sources. Primary sources are inscriptions, monuments and coins and the information available in them. Secondary sources are literary works, chronicles, travellects, biographies and autobiographies. Inscriptions. Inscriptions are writings engraved on solid surfaces such as rocks, stones, temple walls and metals. Various types of lands gifted by the Chola kings are known from the inscriptions and copper plates. They are Vellanvagai, land of non-Brahmin proprietors; Brahmadeya, land gifted to Brahmins; Shalabhoga, land for the maintenance of a school; Devadana, land gifted to temples; Pallichandam, land donated to Jaina institutions. Copper plate grants, which were treated as legal documents, have significant source value. Several copper plate grants issued during the later Chola period, that is 10th to 13th century, record gifts to individual priests or teachers who were Hindu, Buddhist or Jaina, or to persons of eminence. Both the giver and the receiver are very elaborately described in stone inscriptions. Then a beneficence of a donor is recorded. Thiruvelangadu plates of Rajendra Chola I and the unbuilt plates of Sundara Chola are notable examples. Uttiramerur inscriptions in Kanchipuram district provide details of the way in which the village administration was conducted. Next, monuments. Temples, palaces, mosques, tombs, forts, minas and minarets are called by the collective name monuments. The sultans of Delhi introduced a new type of architecture. The monuments they built had arcs, domes and minarets as the main features. The medieval Khajuraho monuments and temples in Konark and Dilwara constitute valuable sources to understand the religion-centered cultural evolution in northern India. Temples in Tanjavur, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Tarasuram symbolize the magnificent structures the later Cholas built in Tamil Nadu. Vittala and Virupaksha temples at Hampi similarly speak of the contribution of Vijayanagara rulers. Quatul Islam Masjid, Motki Masjid, Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Sikri Dargah and Charminar are the important mosques belonging to the medieval times. The forts of historical importance are Agra Fort, Chittor Fort, Gwalior Fort and Delhi Red Fort. Next, coins. The picture and the legend on the coins convey the names of kings with their titles and portraits, events, places, dates, dynasties and logos. Muhammad Ghori had stamped the figure of goddess Lakshmi on his gold coin and had his name inscribed on it. Copper jitals are available for the study of the period of the Delhi Sultans. A jittal contained 3.6 grains of silver. 48 jitals were equal to 1 silver tanga. Religious literature. Devotional movement in South India and later in North resulted in the development of Bhakti or devotional literature. The Chola period was known as the period of devotional literature, and works such as Kamba Ramayanam, Sekira's Periya Puranam, Nalayira Divya Prabandham, composed by 12 Alvas and compiled by Nada Muni, Devaram composed by Appar, Sambandar and Sundarar and compiled by Nambiyandar Nambi, Manika Vasagar's Tiruvasagam, all were scripted during the Chola times. Jayadeva's Gita Govindam in 12th century was a follow-up of the Bhakti movement in South India. Kabir Das, a 15th century mystic poet, also had an influence on the Bhakti movement in India. Okay children, next class we will see about books, biographies and autobiographies, travelers and travelegs, glossary of the lesson. Thank you children.